Now, yesterday, H.R. McMaster, National Security Director, resigned. He decided to step down. He is no longer National Security Director, and he is now being replaced by John Bolton. Oh, dear God, no. Now, yesterday, Trump tweeted to thank General McMaster, saying that he had done an outstanding job and will always remain his friend, blah, blah, blah. Bolton, who is replacing him, is, look, there's a lot of, I guess, context around the pick for Bolton, right? Look, Donald Trump probably picked Bolton because he is somebody that he sees on Fox News all the time. I'm going to keep it 100%. He sees Bolton on Fox News. He's like, oh, this guy's strong. This guy's tough. Yeah, that's the guy that I want for my national security director. Yeah. Oh, boy. Now, again, I guess you could say he's strong. There's another word for that, and that is hawkish. In fact, Bolton has attacked, or I'm sorry, has backed attacking both North Korea and Iran. And to this day, he still supports the invasion of Iraq. That is at odds with the president's rhetoric during the election. And remember, President Trump ran as somebody who wasn't going to be an interventionist. I know there's a lot of people that supported Donald Trump or were against Hillary Clinton because, well, Hillary Clinton is incredibly hawkish. Now, I agree with that. She is hawkish. And to some of those people, the appeal of Donald Trump is that, well, look, he's a nationalist. Yeah, he says a bunch of terrible things, but at least he's not going to launch us into a bunch of terrible wars. Well, now with Bolton, it's looking a little bit more likely that we will be going to war. Now, Trump tweeted out, I'm pleased to announce that effective 4/9/18, John Bolton will be my new national security advisor. Now, Bolton said, hey, look, I know you guys think I'm super hawkish, but some of those statements that I made earlier, I'm going to put behind me. And I'm just going to be the best national security advisor that I can to the president. Well, okay. Now, you might be wondering, what did he say before? Well, I've got a couple of things that I want to show you that he has said about, well, that have been a little controversial. Let's take a look.
There is no United Nations. The Secretariat building in New York has 38 stories. If you lost 10 stories today, it would make a bit of difference.
But our biggest national security crisis is Barack Obama.
We have to know the facts here, and it's not at all clear to me, just viewing this from the outside, that this hacking into the DNC and the RNC computers was not a false flag operation.
I think the only diplomatic option left is to end the regime in North Korea by effectively having the South take it over.
So that's just a couple of the things. Let me get into more details about what he said about, for example, North Korea, right? Now, you just heard him. He said, well, the most effective strategy in North Korea is basically to go in and launch a war and have South Korea take it over. Now, he cited preemptive strikes by Israel on Syrian and Iraqi reactor sites. Bolton, back in February of this year, made a case in the Wall Street Journal for a preemptive strike on North Korea. Quote, preemption opponents argue that action is not justified because Pyongyang does not constitute an imminent threat. They are wrong. The threat is imminent. And the case against preemption rests on the misinterpretation of a standard that derives from pre-nuclear, pre-ballistic missile times. Given the gaps in the U.S. intelligence about North Korea, we should not wait until the very last minute. That would risk striking after the North has deliverable nuclear weapons, a much more dangerous situation. Now, what he said about Russia. Now, look, there's a lot of people who said, I'm not convinced that the Russians had a role in pre-election hacking. That's what he had said before. Now he's changed his tune. He's now advocating for heavy retaliation in an opinion piece filed after Special Counsel Robert Mueller returned indictments alleging conspiracy to defraud the U.S. against a group of Russian nationals. Bolton wrote, One way to deter Russia is to engage in retaliatory cyber campaign against Russia. This effort should not be proportional to what we have just experienced. It should be decidedly disproportionate. The lesson we want Russia or anyone else is to learn that the cost to them from future cyber attacks against the United States will be so high that they will simply consign all their cyber warfare plans to their computer memories to gather electronic dust. So he's saying, if they hit us, we hit them back 3 times harder. Hey, let's go into a cyber war with Russia. Well, that sounds excellent. Again, North Korea ending the regime, and Iran, same thing. Let's go in, let's bomb Iran. We should rip up the deal that allowed them to, of course, or encourage them to give up their nuclear arsenal, their energy, and things like that, in return for their money that we froze. That was their money that we gave back, thanks to the Iran deal, and it has delayed them in actually getting a nuclear weapon. Bolton, just like Trump, is like, no, let's rip up the Iran deal, and let's do preemptive strikes on them. Let's go to war with both Iran and North Korea. These are just a few of the examples of the hawkishness of John Bolton. We're going to war. I can almost guarantee it. Now, for those of you who are skeptical of that and say, oh, come on, Jeff, you don't know that. Maybe we're not going to go to war. Maybe we should believe John Bolton when he says he puts those past statements behind him. Well, consider this. Donald Trump is historically unpopular. Now, what do presidents usually do that, or unpopular presidents do when they're in a lot of trouble electorally? They launch wars. Hey, look, American patriotism, right? That is one thing that helps you shore up your base. Not only that, but if you guys remember when Donald Trump started attacking Syria, right? When he launched all those missiles. You remember the media reaction? The same media that attacks him nonstop. The day that he launched missiles against Syria, everybody was like, oh, would you look at that? That is the day that Donald Trump became presidential. Big, beautiful missiles. The media hasn't met a war they didn't love. And because war gives ratings. And of course, a lot of these media companies are also tied in with the military-industrial complex. So, oh, look at that. We do something about the low approval ratings. And we do something about the media attacking me. Going to war. Because the media absolutely loves war. Look, if you think it didn't work, it worked already. It worked for President Bush. He got reelected because he ran on the war effort. Oh, do you really want to hand it over to somebody new? Well, look at Donald Trump. He's doing such a great job in Iran and North Korea. We can't just abandon the horse midstream. No, we're going to have to reelect Donald Trump so he can be strong and finish the wars. You don't think that that can happen? It could definitely happen. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, for the sake of the world, if we go to war, especially in North Korea, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of casualties. It's going to be devastating for our allies in the region. Look, even without nuclear weapons, North Korea can essentially flatten half of South Korea with just our artillery to begin with. And it's not like those preemptive strikes would take out their nuclear capability. There are, bunkers hidden in mountains and shit like that. That's stuff that we cannot easily penetrate. So, look, North Korea, war in North Korea, bad idea. And if you thought Iraq was bad, Iran, I think, is like 3 times bigger. It's going to be that much worse. No, this cabinet is now full of Warhawks. If you think we're not going to war, think again. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.